Hello everybody, this is Mayor Hunter Larkin here, and this is another episode at Goddard at a Glance. And we have today Shelby Lowen, and Shelby was just given at the last City Council meeting the Mayor's Award, and I wanted to recognize Shelby for everything that she's been doing for the community, and I want to bring her in here today and talk about some of the different things. Shelby is also partners. Her husband is, and you are the owners of Ace Hardware. Tell me a little bit about Ace and why you guys wanted to come out to Goddard and your relationship with the community.
Okay, well, my relationship with the community actually started before I met my husband. So Russ and I were married in 2018. We opened the store in 2017. But prior to that, I actually have been in education for 25 years. And I currently work at WSU Tech, and I've been there for 11 years. And part of my role a few years back was to work with high school faculty and students that were interested in dual credit. Awesome. So getting college credit and high school credit. So I actually got to meet a lot of, and Goddard was my area, so I got to work with both the high schools and met a lot of the faculty and things like that. So I actually became part of the Goddard community before Goddard Ace Hardware.
Very cool.
So fun fact. Yeah. When we opened up the store in 2018 or in 2017, that was actually Russ's doing. A lot of that planning had started years before him and I even met. His children went through the Goddard school system. We live within the boundaries of Goddard, and so it just made sense for him to choose Goddard as the location, and especially with the growth that we were seeing happening West Wichita and beyond, it was a good fit.
Sure. So talk about the growth with Ace Hardware, all the homes that are going in. We got the Star Bond. Do you guys see that at your store? You see everybody going through and purchasing 2x6s and hammers? And,
we're very excited about that. Early on, I mean, we opened, 2017, and then we had, COVID started happening in 2019. So we saw a huge increase of people working on their homes, staying close to home, doing gardens. And that year was just a blur. It was crazy. Yeah. And we thought, well, that's an anomaly. That's not always going to happen. But we've actually stayed pretty steady.
Awesome.
Not as crazy busy like it was because people are now, moving and aren't staying so close to home. But we are seeing more people that through that event and that pandemic, they enjoyed doing gardening. They learned something about gardening, or they learned something about home improvement because, well, they had to do it themselves. They didn't have a choice. And so I think it really empowered a lot of homeowners that they can do things now. And some people might get too confident and they really need our help.
And then they buy extra stuff.
And we see them 4 times in one day. But I think it was a good experience. That's everybody learned a lot. So it's really, we're excited to see the growth. We're excited to see all the different families, young families coming into the community and being part of the community and part of the schools. And so it's just been a great thing.
Awesome. Now, you put a lot of work into Neighbors United, and that's a great event. Tell me about that event and what those kids do for the community and why you wanted to be involved and help out.
I actually participated in Neighbors United a few years back. I can't remember the exact year. And it was when we had first opened the store, and so we were getting more involved in the community. So, I mean, yes, I was involved with the community as far as working with the teachers at the schools because of my job, but I wanted to get more involved and learn more about the community at large. And so I signed up and I was put on a team, and I remember I helped clean up Oak Street, and it was great. I learned new people. I met new people, learned new things, and it was good. I think it was a good learning experience. So when it rolled around this time, I wanted to contribute more. And we're in a unique position being having the business that we have. It's like, what could we do? Well, when I volunteered before, that was before we started doing plants at the store. So we just started doing that about 3 years ago. And so I'm now the one that's, I do all of the ordering. I do a lot of the back office stuff. I've learned a lot about plants. And so it just kind of made sense that maybe we could help in that aspect.
Sure.
Because we knew that linear park planting was part of every Neighbors United.
Right.
And all the city guys come in and talk to Russ all the time. And so he had been talking to Sean and Brooke, and they were coming in getting supplies to create the new raised beds. And then they were needing, some soil and some compost. And so when we were thinking, what else could we do? Well, Russ kind of volunteered me, surprising, I know, shocking, that because I do the ordering, that let's look at the plants, because as a consumer, if you go into a garden center, you're at the mercy of whatever they have.
Sure.
So you really can't plan.
Right.
But if you plan, then you can really, stretch the dollars, put together a solid plan that can be executed. And so with me being able to order directly from vendors, I could order specific plants on large scale and know when they would come in and plan appropriately. So it just kind of made sense, and it was a good fit.
Well, very cool. And thank you for doing that. That's a great event that helps teach young people how to be leaders and give back to the community in a big way.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
now tell me your just 1,000-foot overview look on how do you think Goddard's doing, growing? Are we heading in the right direction? What's your take?
Oh, I absolutely believe so. It's kind of funny, going back to the plants. We've had conversations about there are so many events now happening in Linear Park or on Main Street where a lot of these flowers are. And so we've even had conversations about what could we do to extend into the fall. Maybe not Christmas because of the weather, but how can we extend and make our community still look beautiful because of all of the amazing events that are happening and all the businesses that are opening up and the new market. So there's just a lot of great opportunities and a lot of growth. And we're giving all of those new families coming into the area a place to go. They may not know where to start. They might want to get involved, and they just don't know. But if they show up at a market, they're going to run into somebody. If they go to a Goddard bingo, Lions bingo, there's so many amazing things. The library and the local businesses and the park.
You got a lot of good people.
We do. We absolutely do.
Well, Shelby, thank you so much for everything that you do.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you coming out here, letting me ask you some questions. And thanks for tuning in at Goddard at a Glance, and we'll see you next time.